All right, so last time we were in art together, I had you copy this down, something like this. So you should have your materials. You should have already collected your materials and had it ready. If you are not ready with materials, please pause the video and get what you need and come back. So I have my brushes. I have a bunch of different size brushes here. I have my cup of water. I have my paper towel. And I have obviously my paint set, which oddly I didn't put in here, but you know you need your paint set. And then visual aids you have because you are looking at the assignment. So we are going to flip to a new piece of paper, and you are going to copy me. Pause the video if I'm going too fast, and feel free to take your time with this lesson. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write at the top, color map. I am writing in a Sharpie so that you can see, but I do suggest you writing in a pencil. So we're going to make a box, and then we need this to have 6 by 6 grid. So basically we're going to draw 5 lines going horizontal. One, two, three, 4, 5, and then 5 lines going vertical. And don't worry too much if they're not perfectly even, okay? All right, so from this point, we are going to label these with letters. So we're going to go red for this column, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay? Then we will do the same thing down the side. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay. So we're going to start with our paintbrush now, and we're going to paint the diagonal grid. So if you see here, red and red meet. Here, orange and orange meet. Here, yellow and yellow meet. So basically, we're just going to work on getting our colors filled in. So let's start with red. And these are pure colors. These are called hues. Clean your brush. Orange. And it's going to end up being in a diagonal. Clean your brush. Now we're going to yellow. So you want to make sure your brush is really clean before you go and get your yellow. Yellow, yellow, this is where they meet. Clean your brush. Green. Notice these are very watery. We are using watercolors, so you should have paint that is pretty watery. Obviously, you don't want it to run or pool or puddle anywhere, but you don't want it to be too dark. And if it is too dark, you're going to have a hard time mixing colors. Clean your brush and purple. Okay. So this is where the fun starts, because basically we are going to mix our orange and our red together. So you have to take your column with your row. So right here, you're going to mix orange and red together, okay? There's 2 ways to do this. You could do it directly onto the paper. So I'm getting my orange, washing my brush, getting a little bit of red, and letting them mix. Okay. Once you have that color, I feel like it needs maybe a little more orange. With that color on my brush, I'm going to go right down here because this is also an orange and red combo. So I'm going to get the paint from here and put it down here. Okay, so that's an orange-red mixture. Wash my brush. We're going to work across. So this is going to be red mixed with every color, red mixed with yellow. red. Wash your brush. You know that yellow is weak, so you want to use a lot of it. Red mixed with yellow. Wash your brush. Red mixed with green. Ooh, let's see what that makes. Red. Wash my brush. Green. Oh, wow, cool, okay. So you're gonna learn some different things. That has a lot of red in it, so if I want to, I can add a little bit more green. Red and green happen to be complementary colors, so they make kind of like a grayish brownish color. Now with paint on my brush, I'm going to go down here, red and green. Okay. This is puddling a lot, so a little trick, if it's puddling, dry your paintbrush off with your paper towel, and with a dry brush, you can put your brush right where it's puddling and check that out. It lifts the color, which is so cool, right? Okay. Blue, red. Blue. Wash my brush before I get new colors. Red. Makes a really nice purple. With paint on my brush, go down here to the blue, red in this section. Purple and red. Purple. And red. Red might have overpowered a little bit there, so I'm going to clean my brush and go get a little more purple. It's like a magenta color. With paint on my brush, go down here. If that looks like it's pooling or puddling, dry your brush, pick up some of that paint. Cool. Okay. Next, I'm going to do the orange row. So here I go. So I already did orange and red and orange and orange. Now I'm going to do orange and yellow. Let's get some orange and some yellow. The other way to do this, if you have some sort of a palette, you could take orange, wash your brush, get yellow, mix it together, and then you can use this color right in here. Just like we did the red, we're going to go down the orange column as well. Okay, clean my brush. Now I'm going orange and green. Orange and green. I think I need more orange. Clean my brush, go get more orange. Some people might think this is not a very pretty color, but it might be a color you need someday. And now you know how to make it. Orange column, green row. Okay. So I do like mixing in a palette. Sometimes it is really helpful because you can get really nice saturated colors. But if you don't have something to mix on, then you can just use the paper. Often I'll actually use a plate, either a paper plate or like a ceramic plate from my cabinet, as long as it's white. And then it's pretty cool because it allows you to see your colors. And this is not toxic paint, so you can just wash it in the sink with some soap and water and be fine to eat off of it. So now I'm going to mix blue and orange. Blue and orange. It makes a green, but I'm going to get a little more orange because I know that it's supposed to be a little bit more muted than that. So this is blue and orange. Looks a lot like that color, doesn't it? Let's get a little more blue. kind of a green. Probably because my orange is sort of a yellowish orange. And down here. So I'm working across and down at the same time. All right, so now I'm going to go orange and purple. Purple, orange. And the goal is to really make sure that you keep your paint set clean by washing your brush before you dip your paintbrush into a color. So here is orange and purple. I don't want that green to mix in right there, so I'm going to try not to touch it with this color. It's actually a pretty color, in my opinion. Okay. I'm seeing that this is puddling. Who remembers the trick? Dry my paintbrush right where it's puddling, take my dry paintbrush and lift the color. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm up to my yellow and so on and so forth. So if you feel like you've got a handle on this, you are welcome to stop the video and just go at your own pace. I will keep going so that if you want to see how to keep going, you can stay with me and we can do this together. So now I'm going to mix yellow and green. So we know that yellow is weak and green is a little stronger, so I'm just going to use a little bit of green, a lot of yellow. It's a very pretty lime green. And then I'm going to go over here too, where it's green and yellow. Next is yellow and blue. At this point, if you're in the yellow row, you might want to change your water cup. If your water is really dirty, it's going to change your yellow color and it's going to make it very dirty. So this is yellow and blue together. And right here, yellow and blue. Okay. Yellow and purple. Yellow and purple are complementary colors. They're across from each other on the color wheel. That might be too much purple, so I'm going to dry my brush and lift some of that color up and wash my brush really well before I go into the yellow paint. So it kind of makes this like muddy, darker yellow, which again, you might not think is quite a pretty color, but you will find that you might need a color like this someday. So it's really good to do this color mapping because it teaches you how to make colors that you wouldn't normally know how to make. So actually, when I do this, it kind of looks like a peach or a skin complexion. So it's good to know how to do that. Drying my brush because there's a lot of paint here. Okay. We finished our yellow section. Now we'll go to green. So we already have green and red, green and orange, green and yellow, green and green. Now we need green and blue and green and purple. So let's get some green. Whoa, sorry. My paint set is getting wetter, so I don't need to use that much paint, too much. Green and blue. That's a pretty color. It looks a lot like that one, so I could add a little more blue. And then here, blue and green. Okay. Let's do green and purple. Green. And purple. Uh-oh. It's starting to run. I'm going to dry my brush and try to stop that from happening. I happen to love this color. When I mix green and purple, it makes like a muted greenish grayish color, which I think is really, really pretty. And I find that I use this color quite often when I'm painting, especially if I'm painting plants. So green and purple also goes down here. And then the last one is purple and blue. Get some purple. And some blue. I have a lot of water, so I'm just going to dry my brush off. I feel like I need a little purple, a little more purple in there. All right, and I'm done. So this is a really fun color mapping experiment where you get to explore what happens when colors mix together. This is only a 6x6 grid, but it really does give us a very wide range of colors, and we're going to refer back to this many times when we're painting. So this is going to stay in your sketchbook, and it is going to be a reference for you anytime you paint with watercolors. I hope you had fun with this, and I will see you all when we have our live Zoom again. Thanks for being here. Bye.